Stephen Guarino, KOR Sports are here. The legendary Ronnie Shields. Man, you got another one. I feel like whenever like fighters come out of your camp, people got to pay attention, man. David Morrell's been on a tear recently. There's a reason. Brian Custer was up there saying people avoid him, but not Agneko. What do you see in Agneko that maybe gives him the bravery to want to get in there with Morrell?
Well, he's a fighter, man. That's what fighters do. I worked with him a little bit, early in his career. He's a really good fighter, man, and he's confident, and that's what you have to have in order to be a fighter.
You said you worked with him earlier in his career. You guys talked about it a little bit at the press conference. Does that, give you a little bit more of an edge, being that you kind of have that little experience with him?
Because it was early in his career. He was just coming over from Ghana, and I never worked a fight with him, but we had like 3 camps together. So, but it was really good though.
Yeah, man. To him and Charlo to work together. Do they have the camp at the same place, or how does? I know you work with both of them.
No, they work out both at my gym, but I put them in separate times.
Oh.
They don't spar together or anything like that. No.
Is that because like one's left-handed, right-handed kind of a thing?
It all depends on who they fighting. At the time, Jamal was fighting Benavidez Jr. and Morrell for this fight.
Right.
So, of course, the styles didn't match. So there's no sense in putting them in to win. You're working against each other, not for each other.
With a victory on Saturday, the names are pretty. Are getting kind of slim at the top, right? It's Canelo, David Benavidez. I mean, Caleb Plant. I feel like Jamal's kind of out just because of your association. But I mean, is it one of those 3 names? Obviously, kind of if it were up to Morrell, is he going to go after a David, a Benavidez, a Caleb Plant, someone like that?
Right, he wanted David Benavidez for this one, but of course that didn't happen. But look, I mean, in this sport, man, it's a wait and see thing because there's always something. Especially with now, this is Showtime's last fight. So now PBC just did a new deal with Prime. So we just have to wait and see what's going to happen. The names, I don't know, but it could be Benavidez, it could be Canelo. I mean, I think David Morrell is ready for any of them.
If Ronnie Shields could map it out for both your fighters, right, Jamal and David Morrell, how does it go?
I think the best scenario would be Jamal Charlo versus Canelo and Benavidez versus Morrell on the same card.
Ooh, that's a great card. That's man. If I have Amazon Prime, which I do, I'm very happy about that. I'd be very, very happy about that. Right? That's a good fight. Those are good fights.
Absolutely.
Just want to pick your brain a little bit. What do you think about Devin Haney's performance versus Regis Brogan?
Oh, it was a great performance, man. He really showed people that he's a good boxer. He's definitely world class, a world class fighter. He proved it, and that's what you have to do as a fighter. You have to, you can talk it, but you got to show it. And he went out and he showed that he was the better man that night. Regis Progress is a really good fighter, but on that night, Devin Haney was better.
If Devin Haney and GervontaDavis are they've been going back and forth, where all the fights happen now on Twitter, right? where all the fights happen, before they actually, if they even happen in the ring. But, if those 2 lock horns, stylistically, what does that look like?
You know what? I think it's a good fight. That's stylistically, I mean, it would look something like with the Regis Progress fight, but I think Tank could be a little bit more active. And, a little bit more, not active, but a little bit more precise with landing punches than Regis was. The style with Tank is a little bit different than Regis. Regis is he come, but nothing behind it. And with Tank can bring something. Especially with defense. Defense, and then he fires right back after defense. So that definitely would be a great fight. I think the world would love to see that.
Is in your mind 50-50, or do you lean
Well,
one way?
right now I'm leaning at 50-50. Especially with Haney becoming world champion again in another division, You know, the confidence is just crazy now, and you know, and that's hard to beat. So right now, I'm gonna say 50-50.
You know, we're talking about that, but Tank technically is, you know, 135. He has gone up to 140
Yes.
before. You know, the Ring Magazine champ, you know, at 140 is Teofimo Lopez. That's another great matchup
absolutely.
between Devin Haney and Teo. You know, what did Devin show you enough to where he maybe surpasses Teo in you know, as far as like being favored in that, or is Teo's, you know, Teo did beat
No.
Loma, Teo did beat Josh Taylor?
I would definitely favor Devin Haney in that fight. And I think right now, with the role Haney is on right now, it's going to be difficult to beat him. You know, he's confident. You know, his abilities is crazy right now, and I just think I think he's the man at 140 right now.
Yeah, no, I agree. Just last one from me, Ronnie. You know, we talked about Canelo and David Benavidez, you know, and in your scenario, you didn't put them together just yet, you know, but if they were, you know, Canelo and David Benavidez were to, you know, lock horns next year, do you lean one way or the other with that?
You know, somebody asked me that earlier. You know, it's hard to say because I've never had to study Benavidez, but I studied Canelo a lot because I had two guys to fight him. So, you know, to me right now, it's a 50-50 fight right now in my eyes. And that's just without studying Benavidez. But watching Benavidez, you know, it's a difficult fight for Canelo because the way he fought Bivol was really throwing a lot of punches at him. And he got out of the way a lot of them, but not most of them. Benavidez is more active than Bivol. And so he's going to really throw a lot of punches. Plus with the height, you know, with the height difference, that makes a big difference in a fight sometimes. So, you know, it would be, right now for me, it's a 50-50 fight. But, you know, any guy can win, though. The thing about it is, Canelo has the power to hurt Benavidez, to stop him from throwing so many punches. But, you know, Benavidez is a determined fighter. So, you know, it would be a great fight, though.
That's just that's those the questions, right? We would get answered because the volume seems like it would bother Canelo, but if the power of Canelo kind of gets to David,
the power would definitely back him off because, you know, then he know he's too close. You know,
man, hopefully we get these fights, man. Hopefully, you know, Amazon Prime does it for all of us. You know what I mean? Hopefully we get it for sure. Ronnie, thank you so much for your time, man. Tell the fans where they can follow you, what you're up to.
You can always follow me on Instagram at official Ronnie Shields.
There it is. Appreciate you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.